Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reverse the Verse. It is Friday, March 11th,
Yes.
2016. I know my dates.
11. I have like a bunch of overdue bills.
No, I'm kidding. I'm your community manager, Jared Huckabee. With me, as always, is our director of community engagement, online strategy, and spaceships, Mr. Ben Lesnick. Our subscription manager, Ms. Alexis Lesnick, and joining us on our TV and now our production coordinator, Mr. Darian Vorlick. How you doing, Darian?
It's like the beard vanguard here going on.
Beard guard?
Yeah.
All shall be assimilated. You shall adapt to service the beard.
We have gray in our beard, though. You need more gray in your beard.
Keep posted the forums.
So if you've never seen Reverse the Verse before, Reverse the Verse is the Cloud Imperium Games community team's weekly informal live stream with the fans. We're going to talk a little bit about our week and the subject matters that you see on the this way. I think it's this way. Yes, on the side of the screen there. Yeah. So right off the bat, you're going to notice that Justin Chambers isn't here with us today. Justin Chambers is on the East Coast at the premiere of his movie.
Yes. One thing I have certainly learned since getting to Hollywood is that every single person you meet has made a movie and is in the process of trying to sell it or get financing to finish it or something of that sort. And Justin is no exception. So he has directed, written, produced, etc. a movie called American Bread, and it's starting its festival circuit. So he's back in my old stomping grounds, Washington, D.C.
That's American bread as in breeding, not bread as in the sandwich.
We were all disappointed because I think the Great American Sandwich movie can still be made.
Well, there's room to hope anyway. So with that out of the way, let's start in on our week in review. Ben, why don't you start us off? What did we do this week?
Gosh, what did we do this week?
Yeah.
I really need to think about this before the.
Here's the thing. Every week we have to do this big report where we, type up everything that we've done. Look, Ben, I changed the font. Ben.
Thank you.
See, I changed the font.
Yes.
I changed the font, Ben.
There was a scathing font review.
Yeah, I think I said something very mean about the font last time.
Something very mean about the font. Look at this.
I compared it to certain events in human history that were not
Changed the font.
good.
So that happened this week. Changed the font.
It's part of your weekend review.
No, but every week we have to do this whole write-up about our week, but we do it after the show, and it would be much smarter if we did it before the show because we'd have it here.
Isn't that kind of why I'm on board?
Yeah,
Well, that's one thing that happened this week. Welcome Darian to our team. He is spending part-time with the community team now. He's helping us get our production processes in order. He's running our social media. You probably noticed it got noticeably better this week. If you follow us on Instagram, that's Darian.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All those posts have been mine.
So that's one thing that happened this week. Had a bunch of ship meetings. We
Launched.
we launched 221. That's an important one.
Yeah, that went through QA process pretty quickly too. They had the PTU build in the morning, and then by the end of the day, they were ready to push.
Yeah, we almost got it out that night before, but we figured we'd wait. We wouldn't keep people into the night in Austin again.
Lots of good bug fixes. Obviously there's still more to do, but lots of help. A lot of help with the infinite load screen. I had been suffering personally from the infinite load screen for a while. So
you are sort of infinite load.
Yes.
Some 300 series fixes that went into 221, a couple crash fixes.
That's a big one because we were promoting this 300, which, if you have one of those 300i coupons from 2 weeks ago, we held it over until the 300i was fixed. We'll send another email reminding you so that'll go through this weekend. There's also a fly free going on right now. We kicked that off this morning. We'll have a comment about it later, but it's a fly all ships fry free.
Free fly. All ships.
Free fries.
Every ship.
The site.
Every fly ship, yeah.
Glaive, the Omega.
So this is going to generate some cool data for us in terms of balancing, and hopefully let you guys play around with some ships you haven't seen before. That goes through the 20th, and we hope you enjoy.
Yes, that sounds right. 20th.
What else did we do this week? Just gonna look at my calendar.
You may have noticed there was a brand new segment in Around the Verse this week. Sherry Heiberg and the lore team started off the Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a group effort. We're really happy with the way it turned out. Sherry was hosting our first episode. In future episodes, you'll see Adam hosting Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy. You'll see Will hosting Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy. And if it's the last thing I do on this earth, I'm going to get Dave Haddock in there to host Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I think that would be hilarious to just watch him no-sell the entire segment while he was doing it.
I would not mind doing some of the other systems I did.
Yes, Ben, you can do.
We don't want more of you.
One of them's named after you.
Oh, okay, that's true.
All right, you can do the system that's named after Alexis.
All right.
What's that system called?
It's not the system. It's whichever one has the planet Xis, X-I-S. It's named after her. It's the like rainforest.
Save it for the segment.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Save
that
it for
good.
the segment,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna check my notes beforehand. Yeah, I remembered after looking what I did this week. Sandy and I spent yesterday editing the Chris Roberts footage from the shoot we did the week before, the fancy shoot with the nice lens for the making of documentary, and now we're setting up a day of shooting this next week. Well, Tennessee's doing the real work. We're setting up a day of shooting this next week where we're going to get all of us early folks, Sandy, me, Forrest, Sean, Paul, Ortwin, and so on, do some more talking heads from them, and from that we will generate a rough cut of the first part of the documentary.
Yeah, the first part of the documentary, which is about the original crowdfunding
original
campaign, so,
campaign,
you know,
yeah.
stuff that we can talk about at this point in development. You know, it's important to start recording these things not too far away so that the memories don't fade and change and stuff like that. So we're getting folks on camera now.
I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Yes, I know.
Southern California.
Based on the trouble we're having with our weekend review, we need to get these interviews about the original crowdfunding campaign done now
I don't even know how I got here.
before it even goes away.
I don't know how you got here either.
So what'd you do this week, Darian?
A lot of posts. So I'm kind of splitting my time between the development production team and the community team. One, building inroads into the community, see some production processes put into place, but also since kind of done some PR stuff in the past, been doing some Instagram posts, Facebook, Twitter, and a lot of you guys already follow me on Twitter anyway, so it's just kind of a natural extension of that, just kind of keeping the community informed of what's going on. Apart from that, I saw Deadpool last night. I loved it. Girlfriend hated it.
I enjoyed Deadpool a lot.
I liked it.
I
wasn't expecting to.
She called Cards Against the Humanity is the Deadpool of card games.
I was watching last
That's
night.
fine, though. I like both of those
Yeah,
things. so-
exactly. She doesn't.
I was just watching last night Freakazoid, the 90s cartoon. I realized it's just Deadpool without swearing.
Well, the thing is, Deadpool doesn't swear in the comic either. It's comics. It's PG-13 or so whatever. Also, I just remembered Guillaume. How do you say his last name? Guillaume Boucher.
I'm not sure how to say his last name.
Guillaume something French Canadian. Sorry, Guillaume. From Behavior wanted me to issue a correction on our sub corner behind the scenes segment yesterday. Simon Pinot. I should not try to pronounce people's names, but Simon is a 3D artist, not a 2D artist, as his Chiron says. So he asked me if we could change that this morning, and I'm like, no, it's too late. But I would issue a correction. He's a 3D artist, not a dirty 2D artist.
Good thing he wasn't asking you to pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah. I don't do.
Well, that tells you something about artists. They concern more that you confuse their number of D's than their
The better the
names.
artist.
Yes. And speaking of the subflare, that comes into hangars today.
Yes. Why don't you ask me about my week?
I was getting there. This was the transition.
All right. Yes, subscriber flare should be actually. I think it has already been added to accounts. So it is the start of the Space Plant series, which is very exciting.
More space plants?
Yes.
What?
So yeah, subscribers will have that today. In addition, if you backed before we hit the 49 million stretch goal, you will have seen the other space plant in your hangar, which was the stretch goal reward. That showed up last week. So now you should have 2 space plants, potentially.
And someday you're
And
going to have
someday-
3 space
Yeah,
plants.
someday more.
Are they carnivorous?
One of them is.
We also had the Bar Citizen last week.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It was super fun. Friday night, all the studios did their Bar Citizen thing at different times, and it went pretty well, I think.
Yeah?
Got good feedback. Everybody seemed to have a good time. And to the second group of people in Frankfurt that we couldn't get you into the first party, we'll be planning a follow-up very soon. So
Met a lot of cool citizens there. We met Stoutman PR. He's a Twitch streamer.
Yep.
Met somebody from SpaceX, whose name escapes me at the moment. I apologize, SpaceX lady.
She was
and I
cool.
need-
Yeah,
I
you were-
actually
you were-
need to
you were
contact
cool.
her to see about setting up a tour.
Yes.
That reminds me.
Yeah,
Please
there were
don't
a bunch
let-
of also back. Jeffrey, Dr. Jeffrey W.
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk was there. Sophie girl.
Sophie.
Yep. It was neat meeting everybody, seeing folks we've seen before.
A chemical analyst
I did meet the
who
chemical
works
analyst.
for some petroleum company, but he was a chemical analyst. That was actually kind of cool to talk to him about that. A guy named Bob.
Somebody who talked about helicopters quite a bit.
Yes,
Yes.
I talked to somebody. Somebody told me about helicopters for a very long time. I learned many things about helicopters that I didn't know before.
Well, in their defense, you didn't know much about helicopters.
No, I
did
don't
you?
know much about helicopters, except that I like to crash them in GTA.
I don't know much about helicopters.
Nope. So we also have dog tags going up for sale today. Squadron 42 dog tags. Those will go on sale at 1 p.m. Pacific. So I don't have a time zone converter here right now, but
What time is that here?
1 p.m. So like an hour and 45 minutes from now, those will go on sale.
Speaking of merchandise, that's another thing we did yesterday. Is we have I say we again when I mean Hennessy did the real work. Hennessy constructed a cube out of sheets. It's essentially a
Giant light
Giant
box.
light port.
It's an adult blanket fort, but it is a huge light box, so we could take pictures of merchandise. And we found that it takes fantastic selfies. And after they photographed the dog tags and what else did you?
Star map.
Star map.
Oh, that's another thing we've got.
I took a picture of you.
happening soon.
And posted it on Instagram.
Yeah. So after that, it was like, well, we can use this for a second purpose, which was to take pictures of Chris Roberts' giant Wing Commander map and some of the set blueprints he had lying around. So we got super detailed pictures of all the Wing Commander map stuff thanks to that. So that was an exciting thing I did today, and we are going to put those on like Dropbox or Imager or something, and people can look at all the crazy details. We found a sea monster looking closely at it. There's all sorts of crazy stuff in there.
It's just diverted from.
Yes. Why don't you tell us about the star map, Alexis?
So, tentatively next week, we're going to start fulfilling folks that bought the standalone star map. So, not the one that's included with the game package, but if you bought a standalone star map, we're getting ready to start shipping those. So, we're going to be collecting updated addresses next week. Turbulence working on a nice flow to collect these that shouldn't be too complicated. So we'll be sending emails to those folks next week. And then we'll be selling the remainder of the star maps, and again, more info next week.
What are they made of? What's the material that they're on?
What's that?
What kind of material are they printed on?
Stardust.
Nice.
Yeah, shiny paper.
So I want to get one
It
framed
is.
on my
It
wall.
is very shiny, glossy
Glossy,
paper.
yeah.
It's very nice.
It is really. It reminds me of something you would find at like a middle school health room.
It does have that like science poster vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
And I think wrapping up, also on AT this week, we interviewed Board Gamer. He is a YouTuber extraordinaire, lots of fantastic Star Citizen tutorials. He's been a great help to new players who are new to Star Citizen. Obviously, new players are new to Star Citizen. Hey, it's not all going to be gold, guys.
I've got a couple more. I think actually
Okay.
we are going to be kicking off sales of CitizenCon tickets.
Oh, that's right.
General tickets will be Friday, one week from right now, and there'll be a pre-sale for subscribers, as promised in the latest subscriber perks. That'll be Thursday, so 6 days from now,
Yep.
and we'll be emailing out further details. It's going to be at the Avalon in Hollywood, same place we did in LA 2 years ago.
See, that would have been good for the looking ahead section, not the week in review section.
I don't care. I'm not a guy who reads the screen.
I see somebody asking about this. I know this isn't a question portion, but I saw somebody ask about the star maps.
It's all falling apart.
I'm sorry. We originally listed them as folded for the standalone ones. They're going to be rolled because we had so many people saying, "Can't you send them rolled?" So yes, we can, and we're going to do that.
And tomorrow was the Week Commander movie's birthday, so watch the Week Commander movie tomorrow. 17 years old. And Chris gets back the distribution rights.
God, we can drive now.
All right. Hennessy, let's go ahead and move on to our next section here, since we're already skipping into the looking ahead section for a bit. We get a lot of questions about our set. It's been up and running for quite a few weeks now, and we've never actually shown every little bit that's in there. There's a bunch of stuff, nooks and crannies and stuff. So we decided to we're going to use today's show to give you a brief tour of the Fan Cave set. So I've got a camera over here. I'm going to go get this camera here.
I should stress this is not permanently replacing Where's My Ship. The answer to the question, Where's My Ship, is that there have been no changes in work assignments this week, so the folks who were working on ships last week are still working on the same ships this week.
So let's see if we have my camera going here.
This is a live, like, women's head cam type thing.
You give him like a GoPro on his head or something.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, God.
Wow, that's what we look like from the
that's what we
side.
look like. So,
It's not my good side.
all right.
not your good
So we'll
side.
start at this end here. So this is actually where Thomas Hennessy works. When we do the show, this is where Thomas Hennessy is in a little control booth right here, and that's where he works. He gives us hand signs and he makes faces at us.
We're stuck in a garbage compactor. He stops it at the last minute.
Yep. Oh no, my lock pack isn't turned on. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
That's the kind of technical detail we like to hear.
That's what he's for.
There we go. Okay, I turned on the mic pack.
Good job.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right.
Oh wait, everybody's saying RIP my ears. So.
Oh, they're saying RIP. Oh, because it was turned off, it was staticky probably. All right, so that's the monitor where we watch the show while we're recording that.
You can watch us watch the show.
Yep. And this is the fancy equipment that we film all of our broadcasts on.
Why, those look like ordinary cameras, such as you or I might own.
They are. All right. So starting over here, this is the we so we've got some artwork. This is some of the original concept art of Artcourt. You can see how it's changed since then. This is a ship that's no longer in development.
Up yours.
That's the A jump coming soon.
That is the A90 jump that made us realize that it looks like a pelican.
Yeah.
That's the specific.
Now I can't unsee that.
Yep. That's Tim. He's from the Wing Commander movie.
That is one of the background Kilrathi from the movie, which, well, we mentioned before, our office is essentially made up of Chris's old stuff, and he had a framed picture of that Kilrathi from his previous production company for some reason.
That's the Ben Hammer.
Yes, that is the Ben Hammer that was made for us by a German fan and sent to us way back in like 2013. Or it must have been 2014 because I remember they told me about it at that first Gamescom and they sent it to me in afterwards.
That is a Nerf robot.
That was sent to us by Wolf Knight, one of our big backers.
And wearing my Santa cap from the Holly livestream. This is a fish that Thomas Hennessy won on the Santa Monica Boardwalk. He's very, very proud of this fish.
Nemo's twin Remo.
That's one of the lamps. Hello, lamp. Some Star Citizen hats. That's a spaceship from the Wing Commander movie.
That is the model of the TCS Tiger's Claw, a Bengal-class strike carrier. It's not a filming model, it's a concept model. The Tiger Claw, man. Or Tiger's Claw.
Iconic.
So here's that is a physical copy of the Hunter webcomic right there. That was given out, we had those printed up, and that was given out at Gamescom last year, done by the fabulous 18 T-Sor. Those are some Star Citizen shot glasses. Those were given out in the swag bag from CitizenCon 2014.
Yep.
That's where those are from. That's Sandy's award for all the crap that went through last year. Up there, there's a copy of Ready Player One. That's my personal copy. I brought it in because I'm really not that big a fan of it, but I know some other people were, so I just wanted to get it out of my house.
Some of us are fans of Ready Player One, and we appreciate the backer who sent us a bunch of those a while back.
What is it? I've never heard of it.
You never heard of Ready Player One? Oh, it's kind of it's a near future science fiction book that's like very enmeshed in like 1980s pop culture. So it's I mean, on one hand, it's kind of you have to read it. It's kind of it came out right when the Oculus started to be a thing. So it's all about this future world where everyone prefers to live in VR, and for whatever reason, it's very 1980s. But it's a good read.
Kind of like the short story The Velt.
Yes.
Okay.
Back to the tour. We're on a schedule here. Hey, there's another Wing Commander figure. That is Tim, the Kilrathi General. That is one of the original lamps from the 24-hour live stream, and a treasure chest sent to us from the Shadow Legion, if I remember correctly. They're a guild org in the Star Citizen universe. These are some wonderful metal cut. What are these called? Signs? Stencil signs? We got these from a fan in Austin. His name escapes me at the moment. I'm sorry, but we love them. They're all over the office.
And we use them as stencils for spray painting the logo on things.
Yes, we did. We've used these to put Squadron 42 logo on all our trash cans and stuff. There's Tennessee's bag of balls.
Which we've never made a double entendre about.
There's our Vandal Against Humanity game sent to us by Ken Shadow, a copy of Strike Commander and Privateer.
That was one of two double releases Origin put out circa 1994 with both games in CD-ROM. A fantastic value at the time.
Mute the mic on the handheld cam. There's an echo in the audio.
Oh, but you have to tell him, not me.
Asparagus!
Okay. Alright, so there's some action figures.
That's our safe word.
There's the Wing Commander Premier Edition. Wing Commander 3 Premier Edition came in a nice film caster.
Which feels like it must have been one of the very first like special editions of a game. I'm curious if there is an earlier one, because I can't picture something earlier than that. You spent $100, you had to order it direct from EA, and it came with like a VHS and a T-shirt and a special color book and so on. Every game has that now, but I can't think of one before Wing Commander 3.
Now we looked one time. It's Chris Roberts' bobblehead. And that is a Connie model, that's specifically Toast's Connie model that he...
Would you say that's a Crobblehead?
No.
No, you can say it though, go ahead and say it.
No, that's okay.
Say it's a Crobblehead.
No.
Yes, alright, we're gonna come back, whoa! We're gonna come back around this way now, because I was running out of cable. That's the original award check from the Next Great Starship.
Didn't Dave Robbins make that fake check for us?
He did.
Yes. I remember the
Okay, this is what we call our fan wall. We're collecting some canvas prints from different org logos and stuff. We've got a couple up here so far. We do have a few more that we haven't put up yet. But there's INN, and this is like Imperium there, and there's Cosmonauts. And Chris just got this from Takami Enterprises. He got that at the Bar Citizen just last week. There's some licorice that somebody in Australia sent us that we're too afraid to eat.
It's made from snake venom.
Star Pirates. There's some mugs, some Black Widow Company mugs, Sandia mug, and some Star Citizen mugs and stuff like that. It's the best picture that's ever been taken in the history of the universe.
And well, if you look below that, you can see the D.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid giving them the D.
That is the D from the Cloud Imperium logo at the old office.
Oh, I wonder where it's from.
There's a copy of Wing Commander, including completely pristine, unopened copies of Wing Commander 2 and 3 right there.
And it's just not just honoring Chris Roberts, because there's a better prophecy, which he did not make.
Yes. Here's some awards, some random awards we found around the office. We got this from, this was given to us at PAX Australia from Revik. This is very, very heavy. It's the heaviest thing in this entire place. I don't know how we found special wood that was that
How
heavy.
did we get home from Australia?
Yeah. Don't know. This is a fan-made Vandal knife. That's made of some kind of rubber.
These are the same guys who did the Ben Hammer.
Yes. They sent us 4 of these knives, and they are all over the office. I know where 3 of them are at this moment.
The item that when you go into Ben's office, is the item you pick up and you like hold when you're standing at his desk talking to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I was sitting on my CPU. And
Yeah.
Right, there's an old award for Game Player's Best PC Action Arcade Game from Wing Commander Origin.
back when we started this, I tricked a producer at Electronic Arts into sending us all of Chris's awards that they had on display at Mythic. So we have a whole closet full of Chris Roberts Wing Commander awards.
And then finally wrapping up our tour here, we have some terrible coasters that Eris from INN
Love the coasters.
sent us.
Give away a bunch of those on Twitter.
Yeah, but remember when you got those and we were giving them to people at the office?
Yes, and then the people in the office were making me sign them. It was terrible. And then here's some.
movie fan.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Oh, auto power off.
No.
What's happening on?
Oh, it's still going.
All right, we got some nice wooden Squadron 42 and Star Citizen signs that we also got while we were in Austin from fans.
Yeah, it was at PAX East way back.
PAX East, okay. The person we wrote the name of the person who gave it to us on the back, but they're screwed on, so I can't see them right now. But thank you so much. This is the clapboard that Hennessy was using when we were filming the Making of Star Citizen documentary last week. He's very proud. And that is our 3D printed retaliator made by Mr. Combustible and Fire Spikes. So it's very cool. It's missing the tail fins right now. I have the tail fins in a packet under the desk. I just have to glue them on. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. But that is...
That's just one of the fins from the real thing.
Look how detailed that is. So, and you can't actually see it, but there's actually torpedoes in the torpedo bay. Like the torpedo bay opens up and you can see torpedoes in there. They wouldn't fall out. So yeah, that's pretty much the tour of our fan cave.
But I wanted the one with the Titan suit charging station.
I think this is the last time we give Jared the camcorder.
Well, all right. Good job filling the silence, guys.
Welcome back.
I did a little dance.
That's your
Excellent job filling the silence.
They're still hearing the echo reverberate.
Yeah.
We tried to fix the echo, guys.
Yeah, we didn't have time to rehearse that before. We literally decided to do that about 5 minutes before the broadcast. So apologize for the technical issues.
We said the safe word. We had if there's a problem, safe word to say so that Hennessy would hear us. And we said asparagus.
And he failed us.
So
Hennessy did everything that was within his power to do.
Maybe that room's soundproof.
Well, we can hear you over the mic. It doesn't matter if it's soundproof or not. He's.
I killed the camera. Like, if it was coming from your camera, then I found a way to kill that.
Right.
It's just, look, we run into problems because the mixer is upstream from the streaming box. So anything that goes through the mixer, I can hear through my headphones. Anything that's going into the streaming box that doesn't go through the mixer, like that camera, that microphone, doesn't go through my headphone. I know people can't.
That's why you don't cross the streams.
This is the part in the show where Hennessy talks to us and none of you guys can hear what he's
Hennessy's
saying.
defending his decisions.
Look, I think I made the effort go away. That's all I'm trying to say.
All right. So we are now moving into the question and answer period of our show. That's where we take questions.
Questions. Sorry.
From the fans. We are taking questions solely from the general chat on RSI website. So if you want to ask us a question, please log into the RSI website chat, into the general tab, and preface your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. It helps us pick it apart from the other conversations that are going on inside chat right now.
And use some of those upside down exclamation points if you're really excited.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good.
I actually don't know how to do those. I don't know how to make an upside down exclamation
I
mark.
think they're called interrobangs, maybe?
Isn't it just a lowercase I?
Intero? No, there's the upside down exclamation mark like they use in Spanish and stuff. There's a way to do it on the keyboard. I just don't know how to.
I don't know if I made that different. I don't think I did.
I know. I mean, an exclamation point is called a bang sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so first question right off the bat from F9. I have to ask, what is the plan with the Redeemer? We know it's a long way out yet, but what is the next step for it when the time comes?
I mean, the next step for the Redeemer is going to be a bunch of interior work. We need to build out the bays for the oars and so on. I'm thinking the Reclaimer, not the Redeemer.
Yeah.
No, Redeemer just needs a rework for the more modern ship system.
Yeah, well, we've revised the ship pipeline since it was created in Next Great Starship, and as we have to revise it for the ship components. And
I mean, think of the Aurora, the 300 Hornet, the legacy ships need another look. The Redeemer's essentially in that group. It just never got as far as they did.
Gotcha.
Mind if I answer one of them?
Of course.
Stubaka asked if I was the new community manager then, and I just want to clarify, no, I'm not. I'm still part of the production team under senior producer Eric Davis. While we are still looking for a marketing and community or coordinator or manager.
All sorts of things. Although we have some, we may be very close to a community manager, but Darian he's a producer.
Just more here, just kind of giving some support and helping him out, kind of delegate some of the load onto me on stuff that's been piling up a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, something happened and I lost all the questions.
Good job.
Trying to get them back right now.
Someone asked if Justin was coming back. Yes,
Yes.
he is.
He'll be back on Tuesday.
Unless he just like falls in love with Washington D.C. We told him to go to the Air and Space Museum.
Yes, he flew to Washington, D.C. for the premiere of his movie, and I asked him what airport he was flying into, and he said Dulles, and I said, oh, that's where Die Hard 2 takes place, and he did not know what I was talking about.
What two?
Die Hard 2 takes place at BWI, doesn't it?
No, it's Dulles International Airport.
Which movie?
Die Hard,
Die Hard
2?
2.
I don't remember.
I do, it's Dulles.
Okay.
Nobody believes you.
One of the existential
Nobody
problems
knows
with Die
for
Hard
sure,
2
but we don't believe
is the fact that there's 3 international airports right there. Why didn't the planes just land at one of the other ones?
And,
So, take that, Reddits of Die Hard.
I'm clearly watching the show.
Like, that's an odd time because actually Sandy and I were just laughing yesterday, making fun of Chris because he explains the entire plot of Die Hard in one of the Talking Heads segments we shot. And that was like, what are we going to use this for?
I like this question. I know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I want to see Alexis's answer. Apricot wants to know if we can get a Xi'an vertical mouse pad. Just one that goes completely vertical under your
Yes,
monitor.
we have to do this.
If we get a Xi'an vertical mouse pad, same dimensions.
No.
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 I don't get the
No,
reference.
Ben's too excited about it.
I tried Applecrow. The Xi'an ships are all. Oh, we were told that Alt 0161 gives us the upside down exclamation mark.
Or lowercase I.
And is it called an interrobang?
I don't think anything in this world is called an interrobang.
Interrobang.
You guys keep talking Star Citizen.
like,
I'm gonna.
I have a feeling that if you were asked to design a car like Homer Simpson, that might be called the interrobang.
Yes. We have a Hot Wheels version of the Homer Simpson car,
Yeah.
by the way.
That's one of the things that. So there's such a thing as an interrobang.
Hey Alexis, Eddie, Captain Steve would like to know if there's any updates to Concierge Flare.
Yes, we will roll that out very soon. Actually, it's done, and next few weeks I would say we'll have an announcement when it happens.
So an interrobang is a question mark and an exclamation point next to each other. It's not the upside down question mark. So we still don't know.
Basically, the story of your life. You're the human equivalent of a question mark and exclamation mark.
And he is right about it being Dulles and not BWI.
Yeah, I've seen Die Hard 2 a number of times.
That's my favorite Die Hard.
All right, now I love Die Hard 2. Yeah,
Die Hard 1 is a great movie for us. You know, it's, but I don't enjoy it as much. It's a better Die Hard 1 is a better movie than Die Hard 2, but I don't enjoy it as much.
that's fine. There's an important distinction between best movie and favorite movie.
It's like Empire Strikes Back is the better movie, but I have a lot more fun with Return of the Jedi.
All right, that's fair enough. It's fair enough. I think my favorite Die Hard is actually Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I actually liked Live Free or Die Hard. But I also liked Indy 4. I've been banned from the
Well,
table.
see you, Darren.
It's been a good week, but
Well, that experiment's over.
It's no longer allowed on TV.
Secret Templar would like to know when we can get more info on the Gamescom timetable.
They're working out venues and travel schedules and whatever else goes into that, booth setups. So we hope soon. I know they've been signing contracts seemingly every couple days. As soon as we have the schedule, we'll give it to you. But we're spacing things out over the whole event, so there will be something for you no matter when you choose to attend. And it should be good. And I know people were confused because we're not doing the same giant event. That is more to do with where we want the game to be then than anything else. Normally we get to 6 weeks out and we focus on some particular feature set that we want to show off because it's exemplary of everything we're doing. This time we're just ordinary production all the way up to it, and we're going to show you where the game is on the floor and at some private events with our backers.
Yep. So instead of one big party, we're going to have several smaller parties.
We say smaller, but probably
They're probably going to be
just
pretty
as
darn big.
as the
Yeah.
other party, so.
Yeah. It just won't be a big presentation.
The only difference is we're not the ones setting up the stage and putting Chris Roberts on it. He'll be doing stuff at Gamescom, but he will be at all these parties talking. We're all going to be there.
Yes.
I don't know. Are you going to be at Gamescom? I know production sense people are not.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. If production is going to be needed out there, it's probably going to be Eric.
Okay.
Or someone from the UK office, probably, most likely.
Many of us will be there.
Gotcha. All right, so either way, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on for Gamescom. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. Enyo wants to know if the Reliant release is just the base version, or will all variants release at the same time like the Mustang?
I believe it's just the base version for the Reliant.
It is just the base version for the Reliant.
In fact, we're shooting an interview about that later today, aren't we?
Yep. We are attempting to put together a new ship shape series, a 7-part series detailing the building of the Reliant throughout the entire ship pipeline. So, if I can pull it off, it'll be cool, and if I can't, it'll be less cool. What are the chances of an LA studio tour immediately before or after CitizenCon? We are discussing that. We'll do something. It's a little too early to figure out the logistics for that yet.
Yeah, I will say one of the dumbest things we did on Star Citizen was the first CitizenCon, where we scheduled several hundred people to have tours throughout the day,
I would say
the
it was
day
several
of the
hundred.
event.
I think it was like 60 or 70, and we had them in groups, and the Austin office was so tiny at that point. It was really just a basement that was like 4 small rooms. So we just had like a line of constant people coming through.
Meanwhile, everybody else is
While we're
crunching to get the demo done.
Red Hermit wants to know, can you tell us what the next ship slated to be worked on is? And we actually work on more than one ship at a time.
Yes,
in various
there's
stages.
7 or 8 in development at the same time right
Depending
now.
on which office you're at.
Yeah, it depends on which office.
So can we share which offices are working on which ships right now?
Well, that's what we did last week. No, we can. The Caterpillar is going on here with Gurmak is concepting some interior stuff, and they're working out some design issues on that.
Gurmak and Calyx.
Gurmak and Calyx, yeah. The Bengal is active development over in the UK right now. That's taking a whole lot of resources. We got the Reliant getting flight and hangar ready.
Here in LA?
Yep. Starfarer just finished up. In fact, that's another thing I did this week I forgot about. We did Starfarer tours. UK was very proud of that.
Crucible.
It's so cool.
Crucible. Is Crucible
is so
in-
cool.
right now?
Very, very, very early.
I know they're doing the repair mechanic stuff, but I didn't know if
Yeah.
they actually were doing the Crucible itself. That's one. I'm trying to think what else. Jean Scout is finishing up its flight trials.
I saw some images. Chris Smith was working on the decals and the dirt overlays and stuff, so to make the skin of it much more textured. It looks very cool now.
Oh, and Austin has started back up on the Herald, I believe.
So working on lots of ships at a time.
And then a whole bunch of stuff in the UK. A lot of Squadron stuff. They're working on the Van Duel ships.
The Scout.
Yeah,
being in
Scout.
LA.
The constant edits to the Idris. We did see last week on Friday. We do an internal studio show and tell where all the different teams submit their coolest stuff for the previous month, and our producer gets up and shows it all off, and we had Justin has together a video, and so we saw some of the footage from the first multiplayer test theaters, and it looks really, really fun. It's just a huge moving FPS level.
It is beautiful.
And we're not trying to keep that stuff from you. In fact, we're trying to get clearance to release as many of those videos as we can. A lot of times it's like cutscenes from Squadron and stuff we can't share, but there was some fun stuff in this one that I think Chris will let us show.
Hopefully, we're trying. Someone wants to, extremely sticky. Would like to know if we're going to have a presence at Comic-Con Silicon Valley. I didn't know there was a Comic-Con in Silicon Valley.
I didn't know, but I would really like to just take a trip to Silicon Valley. I want to see that computer history museum. I want to see the place. I'm fascinated by.
Your brother is at?
Yeah, my brother's. He's at something. He's something up
I
there.
thought it was a Comic Con in Silicon Valley.
That's possible.
Is that if it's going on right now, we're definitely not going to be there.
I'm already there.
I thought it was next weekend.
No, I didn't know it existed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something completely
But we're not going to be there
But
for that.
But Ben's brother might be there.
Yes, look for my brother. He's cooler than I am, anyway.
He won't be able to tell you anything about Star Citizen, though.
No. Da-da-da. Where's my spaceship section? We already discussed that earlier.
Probably somebody came later. So we will go back to the Where's My Spaceship. This week there was no real change in who was doing what, so we did a little off tour instead.
Yes.
We'll change the topic occasionally when we have something else to talk about.
Yes. Basically, we don't want to do 10 minutes every single week saying the exact same thing. So these statuses don't change on a week-to-week basis, guys. Takes longer than that to build a spaceship, even a virtual one. Can we expect more speed changes soon? Asked Kessler Syndrome. I would say so. We're constantly tweaking.
Yeah, there'll be
changing.
All sorts of changes there.
I said, we've said before, they like to make global changes to everything, slow down combat, speed up combat. It's all part of the game development to see how things work. So
in fact, that's one of the reasons for this free fly going on right now. I said it right. Free fly going on right now is we're going to get ballasting information. One thing you can, if you take 10,000 players and give them access to every ship, you'll pretty quickly notice which one they gravitate towards, and it's good information.
William Thomas Riker asks what the status on the ship downgrade system is. We haven't talked about that in a while. Do we have any updates on?
I don't have anything. That's one of those ones we give to Turbulent, and they have 900 other things to do before it.
Yeah.
Sometimes these things are not as easy as they sound. I would love to have that button right now, but it may. I don't know for sure, but I imagine it's some sort of database rework or something they don't like. But we'll get an update for you.
Gotcha. Lastrom asks, can you tell us any more about what you'll be using the Big Benny's footage for? I can, but I'm not going to. You'll see it when it's ready. It's going to be a surprise. It'll be worth it, though.
You're a cruel but fair leader.
I'm a leader of no one. Vorlik probably enjoyed Mass Effect 3, too.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before, literally like 2 seconds before we came live on audio.
Darian's never played Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
Neither have I. We were talking about it because I was thinking that I was going to start this weekend.
And I was saying you will fall in love and then be very, very disappointed.
Yeah, I know what the base story is about, and it does feed into the kind of sci-fi that I like.
The first one, it's so cool. It's like Star Citizen in that it was not a game made for a particular audience. It was a game made because that was the game they wanted to make, and it has so much potential. This world that's not just Star Wars with the numbers rubbed off, and the gameplay that's not just action. It's slower and thinkier, and the paths and things, and the series becomes a huge success, and it gets streamlined.
Pappy Boyington wants to know, will the Sherry segment return? The Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy will return. It's a segment for the entire lore team, though. That's Sherry, that's Will, that's Adam, that's Dave, that's Ben. So you'll see it return with rotating cast of hosts.
I want to see the John Schimmel episode.
I think the Dave Haddock episode is really going to be where it's at.
Team it, just both of them doing it.
So I'm just going to sit next to Dave Haddock the entire time and poke him, ask him questions. Are we there yet?
No, but Dave Haddock is nice to the point of seeming Canadian. I just feel like he will eventually snap.
Yes, I want to make Dave Haddock snap on camera. It's really the entire reason the Lore Makers segment exists. Sherry was a Trojan horse. No, Sherry was fantastic on it. Her knowledge of lore and science, it really made this segment, so we're very happy.
Yeah, we've done segments in the past where we had to, tape what the person was saying to the front of the camera because they had no idea. But no, she knows her stuff.
Will the jukebox be fixed anytime soon? What's wrong with the jukebox?
I think it's not playing music right now. It's bugged.
No. Well, probably.
Did they plug it in?
Have you plugged it in? Have you turned it on and off yet? No, if Ben knows about it, that means it's already been bugged. So
that's part of our tech debt, which is the bugs your crew making changes, but that don't break the game.
That's
so it's
a nice snappy term you used there.
Thank you. I learned it from Eric Davis.
Was it Eric? I thought it was Sean Tracy that was in that chat.
I don't know.
I think Sean Tracy taught us. I remember we had a whole conversation about it. People were like, "Yeah, it's a good term." Going through. What ships other than the Starfaring Reliant are in the latter steps prior to hangar readiness?
Prior to hangar readiness, and there's nothing else that's super close to hangar ready. The Jean Scout is the other one that's very close.
Well, it's in the hangar right now.
Yeah, along with some of the Squadron stuff, the Argo, and some stuff that people aren't as excited about.
Armin wants to know if there are any plans for future Bar Citizen pop-up events with staff, perhaps making it a regular thing.
Yes, we all had a fantastic time, so we will do it again for sure.
It was really fun. I had a really good time.
Thank you to everybody who bought me pear ciders.
I didn't get a pear cider.
I bought most of this for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciated it, and I got just buzzed enough to go home and make some stupid eBay purchases. So.
Yep. All right, I'm going to ask this question because I want to see the Ben's answer. Ken Daharu asks, have you seen all the support for Vulcan in the comments of the latest 10 for the chairman? Any thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts. I have seen the support. I know, that's one of those things Chris will look at and decide. Totally outside my...
Yeah, I don't even know what Vulcan is.
Well, they're one of Earth's closest allies, and in this timeline, the planet was recently destroyed. A lot of backers want us to help fund the resettlement of the surviving Vulcans.
Oh, well, then I'm totally for it.
No, it's tech stuff, which is largely over our heads.
Yeah.
Tech debt.
Not tech debt. No.
Improper usage.
Yeah.
No, every time there's, a cool piece of technology out there, you can believe that Chris Roberts is on it.
Yes. Basically, guys, it's important to remember we are the community team. When questions about Vulcan, questions about DirectX 12, questions about VR, stuff like that, that's for programmers and the technicians and the designers and engineers and all that stuff to work out. So things like 10 for the chairman, things like 10 for the developers, that's the place for those kinds of questions. And we included the question about Vulcan in the most recent 10 for the chairman. It's because we're not the folks for that. To answer Thornfoot's question of why are you ignoring all the VR questions today? Because the answer will be just like the Vulcan one.
Yeah, I mean, no change to the plan for VR. It is a thing. It will happen, but it's not going to happen today.
What about tomorrow?
Maybe tomorrow. No, you guys saw as we did an initial implementation of the Oculus Dev Kit way back in in the early hangar, and just the process of making the game and the fact that VR is constantly changing made that implementation break pretty quickly. And the question becomes, we love VR. We will have VR in the final game, but do we want to devote resources to fix it, instead of just waiting to the end and saying, okay, here's the final implementation. VR is something we're confident, it's not a technical challenge, it's just we need to do it at the right time.
Okay. Any updates about the HOTAS? Ask Ulat.
Nope, we are waiting for our prototype. We all followed that stuff with SciTech a couple weeks ago, and everybody thought the company was going to business. It turned out they weren't at all. But we took away from that. We said, okay, we're not going to sell it until we have gotten the production prototypes here, and we have given them the thumbs up. So once we get to play what you will play, then we'll kick off the pre-sale.
I saw somebody ask about hoodies.
Hoodies? I missed it.
Might have gotten scrolled past. But they said their hoodies worn out after 2 years. Will it be a new batch? Yes, actually Sandy and I are working on that right now. We have a request in with our manufacturer to source the same kind of fabric because we love the fabric. So we're looking at doing a Squadron version of that. So in the works.
That'll make more sense than Drake.
Yep.
And we're also working on some ship manufacturer patches, which Jared needs to help me find logos for.
I have them.
I know.
In fact, 2 sets, I believe.
Yes. Yes, and each of them will have a subscriber exclusive patch.
Mm-hmm.
So should be pretty cool.
All right. We sent Darian on a mission because we need Omar for the next section here, and Omar was supposed to be here 7 minutes ago. So, Omar, if you're watching, where are you?
Omar watches this show.
Yeah, he does.
He's too cool for that.
He's got that TV right next to his desk. Reaper wants to know if there's any plans for insectoid races in the game.
I've heard that Chris Roberts hates insectoid races. I don't know.
Sorry. Any plans to have anything at PAX East?
No formal presence at PAX East, but some of our devs may be there.
Really?
Yeah.
At PAX East?
Not like for Star Citizen, but just...
Oh, yeah. I want to know who's going to PAX East. I want to go. When can we walk again instead of only being able to run? I thought that was in the most recent patch. Did that get broken again?
I thought they fixed that.
Yeah.
We'll check that.
Yeah, that was actually in the... That was in 2.2. Maybe it broke again. But I actually saw a video of somebody demonstrating. Look, I'm walking. Look, it was like, look, Ma, I can walk. That was the name of the video, which I thought was very clever.
See, in Star Citizen, you don't need to walk before you can run.
Do we know how much CitizenCon tickets will cost yet?
$60? Is that right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we're not entirely certain
Decided
yet.
on.
Okay.
Part of that stuff we're still hammering
Hello.
out. Hey, Omar.
Whoa!
Sorry for being so late.
How are you? No problem.
We're in a heated character debate.
All right, Hennessy, let's go ahead and move to our next section.
Who would win in a
here.
fight between Gillian Anderson
We've got
and Mark
just-
Hamill?
We've got just...
I wish it was.
Your character's eyes are no eyes.
Come on, just
we'll
come
introduce
closer.
two new people.
Come on closer. See, make sure you can be seen in the screen there. There you go. That's it. We have new people here at Cloud Imperium Games Los Angeles this week. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Here's your mic where you can talk to. So you don't have to get super close to it. Just
Oh, hey guys, I'm Shane, new character artist at Cloud Imperium in LA.
hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane. And who are you?
Got a box. Hey, I'm Justin. I'm a new concept artist. I'm concentrating on some environments, a lot of spaceship stuff.
And did we get Patrick too?
I did not. I haven't been
Hi.
introduced to him yet.
Okay.
Me neither.
All right. Well, we got two of our three new people here. So where do you come from, guys? What did you do before this?
I was in Florida. I came out here to go back to school for games and be a character artist at Noman. And then
Yeah, no one represent.
came
He
here.
just left it as he came from Florida.
Nice. So I've been doing a lot of work with concept art company One Pixel Brush for the past few years. I've been around in LA for the past few years. Before that, worked as a map painter for a little while at the mill. Was in VFX, some other freelance work. But yeah, like sunny SoCal. I've been here for a little while and I like it quite a bit.
Anything anybody would have seen?
Yeah, a lot of been doing a lot of work for Activision the past few years, so Call of Duty titles, things like that.
Yes. All right, well, cool. So you guys started on Monday?
Yeah.
Hey, I like it so far.
Everyone's really nice, and the game's a lot of fun. I was playing it last night, shooting some people.
You heard that? He said I was nice.
We haven't met you yet.
No, everybody includes me. Everybody includes me.
Everyone except Jared.
I'm nice. I'm
Shane,
nice.
you get a box. Oh, thank
Oh my gosh. And it's just supplying people with boxes.
Yay, box.
What have you been working on this week, Omar?
What have I been working on?
Yeah, speak up there.
Secret stuff.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I've been working on, or am I?
What is it? Oh, no, you can't talk about that.
Okay.
No, he's been working on Squadron 42 stuff.
Yeah, Squadron 42 Jazz.
Confirmed Jazz and Squadron 42.
The traitor
I
from
would
Week
love.
92.
I would love to talk more about it, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I should have prepared to see if I could talk about it before I came in here.
That's all right. Well, we've been working on that thing, getting Chris to approve the segment, so
Okay.
we're working on it. All right, so we can show you some of the stuff that Omar's been working on. One of the things you've working on is that Mark Hamill flight suit that was on the cover of that magazine, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was completed. Maybe go back for a little bit more revisions now that we changed the material system. So that's going to look a lot better, and should actually run in the game a lot smoother. We've been working on a lot of like memory issues and that kind of stuff, making everything as optimum as possible.
Cool. Are they working on anything right now that we can talk about? I won't ask you guys. You don't know.
Yeah, I
Character
don't know.
stuff.
Character stuff.
Character stuff, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if we could.
This has been Stuff I Can't Talk About with Cloud Imperium Games.
Well, I guess I mean Shane's working on like just a casual like a jumpsuit that's going to be used for the Navy. So I guess the deck could have already been released, but we're switching up some of their outfits to be more of a jumpsuit variant related thing.
Cool.
I don't know what Justin's working on.
Well,
Yeah, I have no idea if it's a
We
thing.
just started.
yeah,
so.
they just started this week, so we wanted to throw them to the wolves and just say hi and whatnot. So, anyways, we just wanted to show your faces, wanted to show you what we're about here. We do these broadcasts every single week. So eventually we'll have you on when we can actually talk about what you're working on. So, thanks for stopping by, guys.
Cool.
I'll let
If you
get back
want to be on, don't let him force
No,
you.
you have to be on. You have to be on.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
like how these guys came in to make sure we're not talking about
Oh, yeah.
anything we shouldn't be talking
Come
about.
on, guys. Just file in here. It drives crazy when we add more and more people to the.
I just came in to say that we're making a game here, so I need these.
They can't even see you.
We're busy. We ran in after
So there you go.
after that heated.
Hi, Sean Tracy. Hi, Forrest. All right.
No, this is coming to you.
I know. You guys can go back to work. Thank you so much.
Wait, what? You're kicking me out already?
They came and they gave me the look.
Okay.
Oh, hey now. Have fun.
No, we're actually done with the show. So that's about it.
Bye, guys. Bye,
guys.
everybody.
All right. So looking ahead, what do we got going on next week? We have another 10 for the Chairman with Chris Roberts. That's in the can. He filmed that before he left for the UK, which is where Chris Roberts is now, overseeing continuing development on Squadron 42. Next week's a Bug Smashers week. Yep. So Bug Smashers will be back next week on Wednesday.
That's correct.
Around the Verse on Thursday, we're hoping we might have that first ship shape segment for you about the Reliant. We'll see how that goes. And
I have heard tell there may be a sale of some sort at the end of the week. We'll have more details on that. What else?
don't forget that Fly Free that's going on right now.
You can try any single ship in Star Citizen, even
Every
the
single
weird
ship.
rare ones.
For how long?
Every single ship that's
Through the
flyable.
20th. We'll be having you tweet about that later. What else? What else is next week?
Citizen content.
Citizen Con tickets will go on sale next week. Looking forward, what else are we doing? We're going to do another Wing Commander live stream. That'll be April 9th.
April 9th.
We'll be playing through Secret Missions 2. Be a good time. Pretty good time.
Pretty good time.
What else?
I'm gonna have that Wing Commander theme song stuck in my head now.
Honor about. You were talking about all the incongruities between blue hair being the same character as.
I've always made Wing Commander timelines. It's something I do in my spare time. It helps me clear my head. I've kind of started again lately, and I've when I was a kid, I didn't want there to be any continuity errors. Like, oh, well, technically it might be there. So it's kind of fun to list them out now. The very first continuity error from Wing Commander 1 is in the first line of dialogue in the first mission. Because you get the briefing that says it's April 20th, 2654.110 at 0800 hours. And then the briefing starts. It's like, it's 0600 hours. And the briefing starts, and the colonel's like, we exited jump point 7 hours ago at 0800 hours. So it doesn't work timeline-wise.
Carl Lafong.
But if you are a fan of Wing Commander stuff, hit me up on Twitter or over at WC News. I've got a Google document that will.
Oh my god.
Well, that's the most understated thing I've ever heard you say in your life. Hey, if you guys,
He's just-
if you guys
he's
want
like
to talk,
dying
you
to
guys
talk
just want to
about
talk Wing Commander.
I
stuff,
am,
you
but
know.
I don't want to waste everyone's time here.
Yeah, you were feverishly typing on the sofa the other night. I'm like, what are you working on there? You're like, you don't want to know about my spreadsheet. That was your response.
But in my defense, you didn't.
Yes, you were correct.
I used to love repeating this opening speech from the Kilrathi in Wing Commander 2. And he's like, how fair is the war against the Terrans? But try to do it in a Kilrathi voice.
The Terran carrier tried to attack us at Katitvek Mine,
There we
but
go.
my stealth fighters destroyed it, and soon will demolish the rest of their fleet. Speak of your plans, not of your toys. Tell me how you will defeat the Terrans. Yes,
Well done.
my Emperor.
Please make this stop.
I can go all day.
Just fade the camera out. Hennessy, just fade it out.